Welcome to the fulfillment frequency, where we find ways to do, create, and be anything that fulfills us in this very moment, even if it's different from what we've wanted in the past. Because that's then, this is now. Let's enjoy what we want when we want it right now. Today, we are going to be talking about routine. Now, routines are the fundamental building blocks of habit changes or identity shifts that we want to make in our lives. So, if you know with all of your might that you want to do something or be something different, and maybe you don't know how to bridge the gap from where you are to where you want to be, start with routines because you're not hopeless. You just need a little bit of structure. All right, first things first, before we get into anything, the rest of this video doesn't even matter if you cannot do this one thing, and that is to make the conscious choice to make change in your life. And I'm not talking about that sudden burst of motivational energy juice that you get like at 3 a.m., where you want to like change your whole life and you're committed and you feel it and you can feel the end goal, and then like that doesn't last to the end of the week, maybe not even the next day. I'm not talking about that. You're sick of living the same life day in and day out. This is the conscious choice that is different from all of the rest. It's a true commitment to yourself. This is the choice where you know in your bones that things are going to be different. That's the choice that you need to make before you continue watching this video, before you continue watching any other productivity, self-development type videos. Once you consciously decide to make a change, now we get to decide who or what goal we want to achieve. What is this routine serving? Okay, this is where you get nitty gritty. You're gonna take out your notes app, you're gonna take out a piece of paper, whatever floats your boat, and I want you to really go into detail here. What is this life like? What are the habits that support it? Whatever identity you are going into or whatever goal that you want to achieve, it's really important to get very specific here. What type of characteristics and habits does this person have? To build a routine for this identity or this new goal, you really want to narrow down the habits that support that lifestyle, that support that goal. So write all of it down as detailed as you can imagine that person is living their life. You're going to want to put it down, and this will come in handy later when we're building our routine. Now that you identified what your goal is or what identity that you want to get into, and you listed all the habits that support that lifestyle, now we can really get into the routine and personalize it to you and your daily life. Next step is for our non-negotiables. Now, what are non-negotiables? Non-negotiables are things that happen every day or often in our days that have to get done. Some examples of non-negotiables: work, picking up the kids, dropping off the kids, church, school can be a non negotiable. Maybe you have to start dinner by 5 o'clock. Whatever your non negotiable times are for you, go ahead and block that in. You can use any app that you want, the Notes app. You can write it down on a piece of paper, but this is your non negotiable section. Now that you got your non negotiables blocked in, you can really see what time you have to actually input your routine. Let's talk energy real quick. Sometimes we have this easy flowing energy at some point in the day that just makes things easier to do. For me, in the morning is where I get more creative. I have more energy to do things, or at nighttime. I don't know what fuel I'm running on during the day, but in the morning and at night, I seem to have a little bit more easy flowing energy. So I want you to think back to where do you most feel easy flowing energy? You want to place your more creative or your more demanding habits, routines in that blocked window. If you have the opportunity, of course, if a non negotiable is blocking that time where you feel more energized, maybe you won't have the opportunity to do that, but if you can, do that because it's going to flow so much easier. We want a routine that flows easily with our energy peaks. It's way easier to be consistent when your timing aligns with your energy. Okay, we're going to continue filling in your time blocks for your routines and keep this easy flowing with habit stacking. Habit stacking is when you take something that you already do automatically in your day and you add another habit on top of that at the same time that you do that routine. So you stack the habit. So it's easier to do this new habit. For example, you brush your teeth in the morning. You want to do a morning and night routine that incorporates skincare because you want to really work on your acne. So you brush your teeth, boom, after you're done brushing your teeth, you know, ooh, yes, let me get my skincare that's on the counter and let me go ahead and put that on. You're stacking the habit so that it's easier and it flows better. So you are more likely to stick to your routine. Habit stacking is great because it's a smooth transition that doesn't take much mental effort. If it takes a lot of effort up here, it's going to be hard to do. Let's make it as easy as possible. Remember those habits I had you list out that support your new identity, your new goal. Go ahead and keep those in mind. And I want you to remember back into your day to day. What does that look like? The routines you currently have, and take those habits that you wrote down that support this other life and see how you can intentionally plug in these new habits into your current routine. This is a really good way to help your habits stop feeling like chores and more like it's a part of who you are. Let's be real, you probably won't get your routine perfect right away. That's fine. It's going to be a minute, or at least it's going to feel like a hot minute before your routine becomes who you are, because you've never done this whole routine thing before. You're used to living your life this way, and you're completely adding something and trying to make it fit, right? It doesn't fit right now. But don't worry, keep working at it and it will fit. Trial and error are part of the process, and I actually encourage it because the more you trial and error or try your routine and mess it up, you adjust, right? And the more you adjust, the more it becomes perfectly synced to what you need it to be. Trial and error will help you bridge the gap from where you are to where you want to be by making little tweaks here and there, starting again. But you're not really starting again. Let's just make this quick little analogy. You're cooking a soup. You have the basis of the soup, and if you serve it, yeah, it's okay. But you add a little bit of seasoning, like, ooh, it's almost there. You add a little bit more garlic, maybe, and you're like, it's almost there. It's still good, right? And it's not like you're failing. You're not failing. You're continuing to add things to it to make it more flavorful. Suddenly you add the salt and it's exactly what it needed. This whole time you weren't failing when you added little things, or you're trial and erroring your soup. You weren't starting from scratch. You're just adding little things here and there. I hope this analogy makes sense. I'm sure it does. And then you have a flavorful broth of soup. And then one day you have a complete routine that works just for you. Although you had to keep tweaking it, it's not like you're starting from the beginning. You remember, okay, when I do this, I tend to not follow through with my routines. Let me adjust it this way. And you continue again, and you keep doing that. Keep finding ways to help make your routine flow easier. Another example, let's say you put your workout routine and the little habits that support that workout routine. Maybe you save it for after work, but then you realize, when I get off of work, I'm tired and I keep going home to sleep. Girl, I don't blame you. You worked hard. Okay, so then we switch it up. How about I work out in the morning before work? Can I do that? Can I do that for myself? Can I set up a morning routine in the morning now and seeing what works? This is all part of the routine process. The goal isn't to find a perfect routine. The goal is to find a routine that flows for you. Okay, now, how you frame your potential for change is everything. You become disciplined in your routines by first seeing yourself as someone who is worthy of having them. I know, girl. I know. You're like, easier said than done. I know, but hear me out. If you keep talking like the old version of yourself, I always procrastinate, I can never stick to things, then guess what? You're gonna prove yourself right. This language reinforces that you are not that person, that type of person who has routines, that type of person that does these habits. If you become someone who starts saying, I'm someone who is consistent, I'm consistent in anything I do, I have a routine later. I don't have to stress about it. I don't have to worry about if I'm going to follow through in my routines because I'm just the type of person who does them. You are literally programming yourself to rise to the occasion. Girl, she's listening. So while you are building your routine right now, and also when you are actually doing your routine, don't act like you are someone who is just doing the routine. I want you to embody the routine. Remember when I had you set up those habits that support that lifestyle or that goal? Girl, that is you. That is literally you. So embody her. Don't think it's separate than yourself. You have to convince yourself. You have to be so immersive in those habits and in that identity of, I'm the person who does this habit. I keep my house clean before I go to bed. I take care of my health. Whatever that is for you, embody it. Do not have any negative thing to say about your routine. And that includes, by the way, quick note, when you're doing your trial and error adjustments, girl, don't talk negatively. Remember, we're not failing. We're learning as we go and we're adjusting until it fits perfectly for the life that we are at right now and joining in the two. If you think about it, like you're joining two different lives, the life that you have now and the one that you're creating. It's gonna be a little hectic, okay? It's totally fine, girl. It's totally fine. It's normal. Don't give up. You got this. So, who are you becoming? Speak like them. Who are you becoming? Walk like them. Who are you becoming? Act like them. Who are you becoming? Because if you do all those things, guess what, girl? You are that person. That mental shift of knowing that you, in fact, do have the potential for change is going to supercharge your momentum in the direction that you want to go. So, focus on kind words to yourself in the process and embody the words, thoughts of that identity or habit that you are going into. So let's go ahead and recap everything that we went over in this video. First, nothing matters unless you make the true conscious choice to make change in your life. Watch as many videos as you want on how to do it, but unless you decide deep in your soul, it's not going to happen, friend. So make that choice for yourself. Next, you really need to define the habits that supports the lifestyle that you want in order to start building the routine at all. Because if you don't know what you're building towards, how are you going to build a routine? So really get clear on that. Now that you know where you're going, let's remember where we're currently at and write down all our non-negotiables that we have in our day-to-day or throughout the week. For example, work, school, making dinner, anything like that. Those are your current life non-negotiables. Then we take a look at our energy windows. When do we feel most alive, creative? And we're going to put our more demanding energy habits and tasks in those window peaks around your non-negotiables. If that's not possible, totally fine. Go ahead and start making routines around your non-negotiables anyway as best you can. It's totally fine. While you're making your routine, it's really important to make it flow as easily as it can so that you can actually be consistent. So keep in mind those energy windows, but also habit stacking. When you're creating your routine around your non-negotiables and you place your energy window habits and routines, how can we incorporate habit stacking in the routines that we are currently in already? Maybe you go for a 10-minute walk already every morning, and when you come back, you really want to focus on a routine around flexibility. You can habit stack that because after you take a 10-minute walk, you go ahead and stretch for 10 minutes. Anywhere in your current day where you can add another habit to backpack off of, girl, add it, because we really want that flow. And remember, be open to trial and error. We are going from where we are to where we want to be, and you tweak along the way until it is so easy to do this routine. It's perfectly made for you. So don't be afraid to trial and error. Don't think of it as you're failing, because you are not. You're doing just fine. And finally, your mindset around your potential for change is really big when creating your routine and keeping that routine. How you speak to yourself really shapes how this routine, number one, is going to look, but number two, how it's going to work for you. Start talking and thinking like you are someone who already does this routine. It's easy for you, it comes easily. Reinforce that mindset because your potential for change is up to you. And that is it. Thank you so much for sticking with me this far. I hope that you build the best routine for you. If you got this far into the video, you're not only thinking about change, girl, it's starting to sound like you're ready to do something about it. If this video helped you or encouraged you in any way, go ahead and leave a comment and share with me what routine are you getting into? What habits are you getting into? I seriously would want to know. And of course, I am literally rooting for you from far. From the bottom of my heart. You can hear it. Look it. I wonder if you can hear it actually. If you heard that, it's beating with love and support. This is the fulfillment frequency where we choose to be, create, or do anything that fulfills us right now. And today, that happens to be routines. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one.